It was late afternoon when Noor and I stood at the edge of the glowing forest, our hearts racing with excitement. The elders had warned us, of course. They said the forest was dangerous, that it was filled with ancient trees that glowed only under the moonlight. They told us to never, ever go there. But how could we resist? The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the village, and the air felt tingly with magic. The trees in the distance had already begun to shimmer with a strange light. I could almost feel them calling me. Noor squeezed my hand, her eyes wide with curiosity.
Are you ready, Yusuf?
Before I could answer, the wind picked up, rustling the leaves of the trees. They seemed to sway in a rhythm, like they were beckoning us. Without a second thought, we took a deep breath and stepped into the forest. The deeper we ventured into the forest, the more beautiful and mysterious it became. The trees around us shimmered with a soft, otherworldly light, blue, green, and purple hues glowing faintly in the twilight. The air smelled of earth and something else, something ancient. We pushed through thick branches, each one brushing against our skin, as if the forest itself were alive. The trees swayed, and I could have sworn they were whispering. Suddenly, Noor reached out and touched one of the trees. I heard it before I saw it, a soft whisper.
Noor, please help me.
The leaves trembled, and the words seemed to carry the weight of a secret. She jumped back, startled, but her eyes sparkled with wonder. I felt it too. The forest was awake and it was waiting for us. The air grew colder and the whispers became louder, swirling around us like 1,000 voices carried by the wind. I could hear them clearly now.
Help us or be trapped forever!
The ground beneath us seemed to thrum with life, pulsing with the same rhythm as the trees. We moved forward, following the sound, our footsteps light and cautious. The whisper grew louder as we approached a large ancient tree with a deep hollow in its trunk. Inside, I could see faint images, shadows of figures trapped, their faces twisted with sorrow. I reached out and touched the bark. Suddenly, a voice echoed through my mind, low and urgent. You must break the curse, or you will be trapped here forever. The forest shifted around us, the whispers becoming chaotic, rising like a storm. A gust of wind sent us stumbling backward.
What do you mean by curse?
The tree seemed to speak to us, its branches trembling.
We are the guardians of this land, trapped by an ancient curse.
Only those with
pure hearts can break it.
I felt a chill run down my spine. What kind of curse could bind a forest like this? A cold dread filled my chest, but Noor's hand was warm in mine. We had to help. We had no choice. The tree's whispers faded, and in the eerie silence, we realized we had a task ahead of us. We needed to find the key to break the curse. A soft glow caught my eye. On the bark of another tree, I saw a strange symbol, glowing faintly. Noor and I stepped closer. When I touched the symbol, I felt a jolt of energy, almost like a heartbeat, fast and alive. Suddenly, the symbol shifted, disappearing into the tree's bark, leaving behind a faint trail of light leading further into the forest. As we followed the bright thread, the forest began to change. Everything around us became distorted, as if we had entered another time. Everything was moving slowly, as if time itself had stopped. Suddenly, the fog opened up in front of us, as if we had stepped into the past. We saw the villagers from a long time ago repeating ancient rituals, while speaking a strange language. They were performing rituals that I did not understand.
In the mist, a dark ghost appeared, a tall figure with dark shadows, approaching us. It was the spirit of an ancient wizard, his eyes glowing red, and his face filled with anger.
You are fools if you think you can break the curse.
He whispered in a cold and strong voice, offering us to take the curse key. but on the condition that we undertake a dangerous challenge. The air became colder around us, and I told Noor to move away. But Noor rejected the challenge and said stubbornly,
We won't need your help, monster.
However, the ghost suddenly disappeared, lost in the shadows. We finally reached a glowing river in the middle of the forest. The water was not like ordinary water. It was water of light, and as we approached, it felt as if the river was whispering to our fears. As we approached the edge, a vortex of water began to form, trying to swallow us up. The river was calling deep inside us, calling us to surrender. But we couldn't stop. We couldn't go back now. Noor advanced and I followed her. We succeeded in crossing the glowing river, as if we had new strength in our hearts. We eventually came to the oldest tree in the forest, gigantic and ancient, its roots extending deep into the ground. Here, we learned the truth. The trees were the original guardians of the land, and they were trapped by a dark wizard. To protect the forest, we must find the wizard's artifact that was hidden in the forest. The trees began to glow intensely, showing us visions of the past, the moment the forest was betrayed by the wizard. It took us a long time to discover the wizard's artifact, a dark crystal buried deep underground. Light was emanating from it, charged with dark energy. I felt something heavy in my heart and the trees started to shake. Noor held my hand and said,
We have to destroy it.
Suddenly the wizard's ghost appeared again, angry and filled with hatred. The dark energy around him threatened to engulf us. The trees whispered a warning and everything grew colder. We stood there paralyzed with fear. But after a moment, we remembered the tree's words.
We must break the curse.
We must break the curse.
Together we decided to confront the wizard. In the heart of the forest, we placed the dark crystal at the foot of the old tree. As soon as it touched the ground, an intense flash of light occurred. The forest began to shake, the trees gradually began to disappear, and the light became fading. When the light faded, the forest spirits appeared, beautiful and luminous beings, their faces full of peace. They surrounded us, thanking us for breaking the curse.
You saved us. Heroes.
They whispered, and with their final blessing, they disappeared into the night. As we returned to the village, the forest of illuminated trees whispered to us.
We will wait for you on the nights when the forest glows again.
I looked at Noor. She smiled, her eyes sparkling.
The adventure is not over yet.